Hey everyone, welcome to Data Millennials. I am Atul, and in this video we are going to discuss how we can apply or use case statement in calculated field in Looker or Google Data Studio to evaluate a logical AND as well as OR condition using case statement. So as you can see here in my table, I have column named as sold region, but if I'll show you my raw data, then you can see here that we do not have any column over here named as sold region. So a common use of case statement is to create new categories or grouping of data based on the evaluation of data values using logical AND as well as OR condition. For example, to group a selected categories of item into sold region, we have to use a case statement. So in this video, we'll create this table and then we are going to use or apply case with the logical AND or OR condition in our calculated field within this table from scratch, so that you will get an idea that how we can apply case with a logical AND as well as OR condition in our Looker report or dashboard. So as you can see here that we have sold region / unit price. So what we are doing over here is that we are showing what is the total unit price per category per region. And as in our raw data, we only have these columns where we have category, the date on which the item was sold, the total number of items sold, which is quantity sold, what is the unit price of that item, and what was the last bought price and change in price. But over here, you can see that we have this category column, which is directly coming from here. Then we have this sold region. And in our raw data, we do not have any sold region, but we have unit price over here in column D. So we have to create a new column using calculated field, and with the help of that calculated column, we are going to group our data which is present in our raw data source into a category, saying that whether it is sold in America or in Asia or in Europe. Okay, so in order to create a calculated field with a list of conditions, we have to know what all the conditions are. So I have written down the conditions over here, saying that if the category is in category 1 or category 2 and unit price is greater than 75, then it will be Europe. When category is 3 or category is 2 or category is 5 and unit price is greater than 75, then we have to give the region as America, else it has been sold in Asia. Okay, so here you can see in our conditions, or the logic that has been given to us is quite complex, saying that the category can be this or that category, but the unit price should be greater than this. So this is a common thing in both of these conditions, saying that the unit price should always be greater than 75, then only it will be within this region or this region based on the criteria of this. Okay, so what we are going to do over here is that we are going to click on edit button and we are going to add a new page where we will create this table. So we are going to use the case statement in our calculated field. So before using the case statement, let's understand the case statement syntax. So within the syntax, you will see over here that we have the statement saying case. So this is the case keyword. Then we have to give conditions using the when keyword, and you can input multiple conditions within a case statement, and then you have to give a default result. If none of the condition is met, then we are using the else statement as a default condition, and then we have to give the end statement, which basically specifies that this case statement, all of these conditions which is present in the case statement will be evaluated till this line, and then this case statements end over here. Okay, so let's go to our report in the edit section. So I'll click on edit and I'll add a new page. So to add a new page, you will click on page, then new page. So we have this new page over here. I'm going to copy this header from here as well as this header, and I'm going to put it over here. Now in order to add a table with a calculated field, you have to make sure that your data is already present in your report. In order to import your data, what you can do is that you can come over here in add data and you can select a bunch of connectors or wherever your data resides, you can select that connector and import your data in your Looker report. Then you have to click on add a chart and you can select any table. For this specific example, I'm going to select a simple pivot table. The moment you will click on table or pivot table, you will see that Looker will allow you to add a pivot table on empty canvas. So let me increase the size of this table first. Okay, so let me remove this column dimension as well as the row dimension, or let's keep the row dimension as it is right now. So the moment you add a pivot table or a simple table, you will see that by default Looker will take a data source which you can change from here under the setup section. Then you have certain row dimension, column dimension or metric value by default selected by Looker. You can change it. Now what we have to do over here is that we have to take this category in our row dimension and we have to create a new column over here which will say that where this item were sold and what was the total unit price for that item. And to do that, we will click on this add a field button to add a calculated field in our data. But if you want to create a calculated field in your metric, then you can come over here and click on add metric. Then you can click on create a field and you have to give name over here and you have to give the formula over here and your calculated metric will be created. But for this example, we are going to create a calculated field in our data, and the only difference between creating a calculated field in our data and in a metric is that if you create a calculated field in metric, then you will only be able to use that calculated field for that specific visualization visit, while if you create a calculated field in your data, then you will be able to use that calculated field in any number of visualization visit within that specific report. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click on add a field. Then the first thing that Looker will ask me is to name the field which I'm going to create, or the output field. So I'm just going to give the region new version 1 and then I'm going to give the formula. So the formula for me would be the case statement. So I'm going to write case, then I have to give the condition saying that when category, my column category is equal to category 1, as you can see over here that we have 5 categories. If I'll just put a filter over here, then you can see that I have 1 to 5. Okay, so let's put the random category over here saying that if category equal to 1, then I'm going to give a or condition saying that or category column is equal to category 2. Then I'm going to give a and condition saying that either the category is in 1 or 2, but the unit price should always be greater than, so unit price is greater than equal to 75. Then put the region as America. Then I'm going to give another condition, so I'm just copy pasting it over here saying that when category is in 3, or let's say category equal to 3 or category equal to 4 and the unit price is greater than 75, then our selling region is Europe. Then I have to give a default value when none of these conditions is met. Then I'm going to say else, put the region as Asia, and I'll close this case statement with this end statement. Then I'm going to click on save and you will see that the calculated field is saved. So our calculated field name is region new underscore version 1. So I have to click on finish, and the moment you will click on finish, you will see that you have a new column over here which says region new version 1. So what you can do is that you can take this new column, the new calculated column, and put it into column dimension, and you will see that those 3 region that you have grouped based on certain conditions saying that if category is 1 or category is 2 and sales is greater than 75 or unit price is greater than 75, then it is America. So these conditions specify the group of region and these regions are appearing over here. Instead of this record count metric, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this unit price as sum of unit price, and you will have the unit price over here. So let me increase the size of this table values. So now you can see that what we had done over here is that we have created a calculated field using case statement with the help of logical AND as well as OR condition. Over here we have OR condition as well as the AND condition, and based on these conditions we have grouped the data in certain regions. Okay, so this is how basically you can evaluate a logical AND as well as OR condition in Looker using the case statement with the help of a calculated field. Happy learning and see you in the next video.